colleague knows you.
Yeah.
You know?
I know various. I know. Well, maybe not. No, I'm thinking of something else now. Who knows me?
Her name is Imma. She has two daughters. That name is Maya and Lola.
Yeah. I know Imma from many years.
Well, so
Our children were kind of growing up together when they were younger. Okay. I didn't know Imma was working with you. I know that Imma has background in some kind of agricultural engineering.
This is environmental.
Yeah.
She works with the park with environmental.
She works in the environmental department.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm in the technical department.
Okay.
But in the same.
In the same building.
Yes.
In the same office. In the same offices. In the same business. Okay. In the same company. Okay. And how did you discover the connection with me?
All Monday I said.
Every Monday?
Every Monday I say, okay, goodbye, I'm going to English. Last Monday, she asked me, where do you go to English class? I said, with la londinense. Oh, Kitty.
Okay. Yeah, we go way back. Okay. One of the pieces of advice for you is the dreaded Okay, this is not a word. It's not a word in English. It's not a word in Spanish. Okay? This is not a criticism. Try to be more conscious, speak more slowly, and allow spaces.
Okay.
The final result is better. It's more beautiful. It's more controlled. It's more confident. Can be replaced with silence. It's okay. I do it too. I say to fill the silence. But it's not necessary. And if it is excessive, it reflects badly on us, I think. Okay? So just a little bit of consciousness, okay? I want to check that this is recording. I've seen that the video sometimes at the end cut off half the board. I don't know why. There's something wrong with the tracking. So I wanted to check. But at the moment, there's no tracking. Okay. So we have seen Freaky 1, Freaky 2. And this week we are taking a break. Okay, I think next week we have Freaky 3. But this week we have what I call Grammar 101. Basic grammar, essential grammar. Essential. The minimum I expect you to know, or I want you to know because I think it will help. You can learn English by ear. You can learn English from reading. You can learn English like babies, assimilating, and there is no need for grammar. Babies have no need for grammar. Children have no need for grammar, and they can speak. But later, we teach them grammar because it helps. And mature learners can benefit from some grammar foundations to help, because you have one language. You are not babies. So you can learn English by ear and intuitively and in the world, yes, that's priority. But you can also take advantage of I'm an adult, I have Spanish. And Spanish and English are pretty similar. So if you understand the grammatical base of your own language, it's much easier to put on top the English, okay? Where's my tablet? So, first things are types of words. Okay, I feel like you should know this, but if you don't, here it is. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Yeah? Noun in Spanish, sustantivo. Verb is obvious, no? Adjective, obvious. Do you know these terminologies?
Yes.
Are you comfortable with these? Because if you are comfortable, this will be easier, okay? I say that nouns are words that describe things. Things like a woman, a TV, a table, a floor. They are physical things. Also, abstract things are nouns, like love, tiredness, anger. They are nouns, okay? Verbs, the action words, anything that we do. Speaking, looking, hearing, teaching, learning, sitting, standing is a verb. Adjectives describe the nouns, okay? White shirt, black TV, big room, small pen. They are the words that describe the things, even the abstract things. Love can be intense. That would be an adjective. Adverb describes the verb. So if I'm walking, am I walking quickly? Am I walking slowly? Am I speaking loudly? Or am I speaking quietly? When we know these, we can learn certain patterns that are associated with the words. The first thing that springs to mind is the adverb in Spanish typically ends with mente. Not always, but generally, an adverb in Spanish ends with mente, lentamente, rápidamente. And so if you know that in English, you also know the general ending for an adverb is li. There are many words that you can win or earn easily.
But there are other words that is irregular.
There are irregular ones. There are exceptions. There are always exceptions to every grammatical rule. There are always exceptions. But if you learn the general rule first, you quickly win and earn a lot, okay? Obviously, we will go beyond the general rule, but you can't go beyond the general rule if you don't know the general rule, yeah? So just this as an example, quick would be rápido, no? And then quickly, with the ending, would be rápidamente. I'm choosing this one deliberately because sometimes in Spanish you would say hablo rápido instead of hablo rápidamente. And grammatically you should say hablo rápidamente. Gramáticamente es lo que deberías hacer. Pero es una ocasión en que se habla mal y se permite. O que se ha hablado tanto o durante tanto tiempo así que incluso es legal, está como en el diccionario, puede ser, okay? So this is also one of the things you have to be careful of, okay? As long as you're not breaking the rules are like this, Okay? Done. Okay, another thing that I want to see in this class, which we have seen a little bit, is the second main function of friki uno, which is the conditional tense. Sorry, not the conditional. The continuous. The continuous tense. Okay? And the continuous tense can be present, past, future, conditional, and then it can be perfect. And the perfect ones include the present, the past, the future, and the conditional. Okay? So you have all these different continuous tenses. I am eating. Estoy comiendo. I was eating. Estaba comiendo. I will be eating. Estaré comiendo. I would be eating. Estaría comiendo. I have been eating. Yo he estado comiendo. I had been eating. Yo había estado comiendo. I will have been eating. Yo habré estado comiendo. And I would have been eating. Yo habría estado comiendo. Okay? It seems like a lot, but I have already given this to you. Okay? I know you have a limited amount of time to assimilate this, but friki uno, the first day, we did present, past, future, conditional tenses. Then we did friki dos, which is the king of the perfect tenses, okay, which is have in the present, had in the past, will have in the future, and would have in the conditional. The future is always associated with will, the conditional is always associated with would. Okay, the past, if it's regular, always ends in ed. The perfect tense always goes with the past participle, and if it is regular, it ends in ed as well, okay? So we are bringing together general rules, and I am giving you building blocks for the sentences, okay? I know it's a lot to assimilate, but they are there, okay? They are there. You just have to listen, read, and follow the sequence logically, okay? But I'm also stopping today so that we can look at these words, these grammatical terms, okay? So I'm not gonna go into this except for, I showed you these really easy ones. I am eating, you were working, she will be studying. I want you to look at this one, okay? And I said, don't be intimidated by this type of conditional and subjunctive sentence. You have all the tools, tenéis todas las herramientas, and it is a simple combination of freaky 1 and freaky 2, okay? Estaría corriendo si no se hubiera lesionado la pierna. Hablando de él, okay? Yeah? He. Would is our word for conditional, okay? Be is our freaky uno. We need to know this, like super well. Running. There is our continuous tense, okay? You cannot make a continuous tense without be, okay? These all have to have continuous tenses, okay? This was be, this was, this was will be, this was would be, okay? This is have been, had been, will have been, and would have been. Been is our irregular past participle, okay? We have seen a little bit, but we're going to see it more in this class, that the past participle in Spanish is anything that ends in ido or ado. Yeah? Comido, dormido. andado, amado. That is the past participle, okay? The ing version is what you call the present participle, and in Spanish it ends in yendo or ando. Okay, so grammatical terms. We just saw noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and what I am doing here is a big focus on verb. Okay, verb is the type of word that is the most important right now. Okay, freaky 1 is a verb, freaky 2 is a verb. But we have verbs in different formats, okay? If I say I am, it comes from the verb to be. To be is the infinitive. Yeah, es el infinitivo. I am is conjugated. Es el conjugado. ¿Por qué? Tiene persona y tiene una terminación o un formato que lleva tiempo verbal. ¿Ok? Persona, tiempo verbal. Persona, yo, tiempo verbal presente. ¿Ok? So, I was, conjugado. I will be, conjugado. I would be, conjugado. Vemos muchas conjugaciones de los verbos. ¿Ok? Pero tenemos que saber qué es la diferencia, que están todos relacionados, they're all related, and at the same time they have different formats. We have the infinitive, which is the mummy, it's the base form, it's the naked form. Then we have the transformation form, which is the conjugated. And then we have these other important forms. The past participle, which in Spanish ends in ido or ado, and English ends in ed if it's regular, and if it's irregular, there are lots and lots of varied endings that you have to learn by heart. Yeah, the same in Spanish, because you have ido, ado, but you also have escrito or roto, hecho, exactly. Exactly. And if a baby or a child says, he rompido la silla, it's not correct, but it's a super intelligent mistake. Super intelligent mistake for a baby. The baby has assimilated the grammatical logic of the language. They know this pattern. They know this rule without knowing they know. Sin saber que lo sepan. They don't know that they know, but they know this grammatical rule when they say, he rompido la silla. It's super intelligent, okay? Which means as well, you can sometimes be babies in English and you can use the ed. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. Sometimes we will understand, sometimes no. Sometimes we will correct you and sometimes no, okay? So past participle is a form that you have to start learning. The present participle, which is the ing form, which you have to know for all the continuous tenses. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. I was going to finish this sentence. He would be running. This is our continuous tense. If he had not, here we have our had of haber, which is freaky 2. No? I said that hubiera, the subjunctive, I said this in the second class. In many sentences, you can treat it like habría. Okay? And remember that ría is the ending we associate with would. Okay, so if in Spanish it was estaría corriendo si no se habría lesionado la pierna. Okay, for the English mind, that is the translation. Okay, because this hubiera para una persona inglesa es como, ¿pero qué es eso? Es como un formato, una versión, una conjugación que nosotros no entendemos muy bien, porque no tenemos subjuntivos de la misma forma, no usamos tanto el subjuntivo y no tenemos uno fijo, okay? So, for now, you can treat this kind of subjunctive as had, which would be like the haber, okay? It's true, it's not, this one is not the conditional one. This one is the había, ¿no? Estaría corriendo si no se había lesionado la pierna. Okay?
Y a ver, ¿cuál era? If I put, if he would have injured, o sea, lo would have.
If you say would have, it's incorrect. But that doesn't mean we won't understand. Okay? He would be running if he hadn't injured his leg is the correct form. And this is where, if it's easier for you, you can start to learn the patterns of the zero conditional, the first conditional, the second conditional, etc. Okay? But when you have would, in a clause, this is a clause, okay? A clause is one sentence followed by another sentence, okay? This is the second clause, okay? First clause, second clause, separated by if, okay? When you have a conditional clause and you have a would clause followed by if, this verb is always in the past tense.
This is the third condition, I think.
I think so, yeah. I don't normally learn them in terms of which order, but I think so, yeah? They are...
Okay.
This is always past tense, okay? So he would be running if he... It has to be had not, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we've got this. This is a little page that you can look at home. It's just because I hadn't given it in the previous content, but it's to remind you of Friki Dos's conjugated forms, okay? This is basically how you translate haber, yeah? Has, ha, hemos, habéis, han, había, habías, había, these are the vías, habré, habrás, habrá. Remember that this is the tildes that I want you to associate with the future tense. They are all will, and then you have habría, habrías. So these are the rías that I want you to associate with the conditional tense, okay? Will have, would have had. The only variation is this one in the present tense, which is has, okay? Okay, this is what we've just looked at, okay? I've said that the infinitive, yeah, I've written it in English for you, in Spanish for you here, and in English for you here. Okay? If you read this content at home and some of it is in English and you don't understand, ask me, okay? But I have deliberately written a lot of content in English to challenge you, okay?
I read the Shakespeare,
The
poem.
Yeah, the little excerpt, no?
The sentence, o sea, I understand the word but not the sentence.
Okay.
So I searched this in Google.
Yeah, and did you look it up in Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just the act of doing that is good for your English. That's why I didn't translate those extracts, because I want you to read it, and if you're interested, analyze it, okay? I realize that when I send you content every week, there's a lot. So if you can't, you don't. And if you don't want to, you won't. But reading in English is very good for your language acquisition. The same as reading in Spanish is very good for your language acquisition. There is a huge distance and difference between people who read and people who don't read. You see it in children, kids, the kids who read versus the kids who don't read. Reading is so enriching for language, for vocabulary expansion, for intuitively understanding how the language is formed.
It's better to read in loud or
Out loud?
out loud or in our.
I think both are very useful and valid. Reading out loud has a few advantages. One advantage is sometimes we concentrate better if we read out loud. One of the interruptions to reading, like anything in life, is this monkey mind. No, they say, the monkey mind. The mind that is always talking, blah, 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 blah. It's always saying something. And sometimes when you're reading, the mind comes in and you're like, oh, you're thinking about, oh, I need to do some work, or oh, I have to do the washing, or oh, I have to clean my house or my kids. But when you're reading out loud, like when I'm talking now to you, it's very difficult for me to be distracted. So just the physicality of speaking can make you concentrate more. Plus, you are adding what I was talking to you about, the kinesthetic memory. Remember I said on the first day, in the first page of the content, that our memory is multimodal. So reading takes advantage of your visual memory, something that doesn't happen if you're only listening. But if you speak, it's also physical, kinesthetic, movement, memory orientated. Yeah, you're not jumping up and down, but your mouth is moving. So you are incorporating that learning into your tissue, into your muscle memory. If we say, this is why if you want to practice speaking, you have to practice speaking. Yeah, this is why I had to do run like a million times, okay? I feel like this is moving. And then we're going to get less. Better. Okay. This is your challenge for the week, or my challenge. I've mentioned.
Sorry.
Don't worry. Don't panic. Yeah, take it if you want. You can go outside, or you can go in the hall. Yeah. The infinitive. Another form that is important is the stem, because I will mention it. The stem, which translated into Spanish is the tallo, yeah, is the infinitive without the word to, okay, is this part. And you need the stem, or you need to be aware of the stem, because the stem comes up in your conjugations. In your present tense conjugation, if it's a regular verb, you just use the stem. So for example, walk is a regular verb. So your conjugation of I is walk. It only changes in the third person. So it's he walks with the S. So it's the stem plus S. And that's what I call the golden rule number 1. Yeah, if you want to know how to conjugate any regular verb in English, it is the stem plus the person, except the third person where you must add an S.
And sometimes you have to put es.
Sometimes, yeah. depending on the verb. I can't think of any now, but they're like slightly irregular. Yeah, like do. Yeah, the thing is, I don't consider that regular. To me, that's irregular, but it's true. There are a few that fit the pattern, like goes as well. Do, does, go, goes. Yeah, it's true. So the stem. Also, the stem is important to be aware of because we always use stem for the future and the conditional tenses. And it doesn't matter if it's a regular verb or an irregular verb. The irregular versus regular thing is only a problem for the present and the past tenses. Because when we get to the future and the conditional, all of them are will plus the stem, or would plus the stem. Any modal goes with the stem. So like a modal like could or might goes with the stem. I might go. Might is the modal of possibility or potentiality, capacity. Might is quizás or puede ser. Yeah? I might go. Puede que vaya. Yeah? Quizás iré. I might go. I might eat spaghetti for dinner. Quizás cene espaguetis. Yeah? So that's why the stem is important. The conjugated form we've seen, the ing form, yeah, is our continuous tense form. It's our present participle. Spanish, yendo, yendo. And then the past participle. Okay, we've seen it all. These are your little, this is what I was just talking about here with our little golden rule. This is golden rule number 1. And golden rule number 2 is the ed for the past tense. Yeah, if I add ed here, I put it in the past tense if it's regular. I walked. I've said, no, golden rule number 1, golden rule number 2. Regla de oro número 1, regla de oro número 2. This is only for regular verbs, okay? But that's a big category of the English language, okay? And this is person plus stem, or if it's the third person, person plus stem plus s. And then here, the past tense, person plus stem plus ed. Okay, I think that you know this, but I'm summarizing it. Okay, and in the table you have it, no? Work, 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 work. That's the stem, to work. And then the ed, worked. Okay, are you okay with this, Belen?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, so let's practice. This is our main exercise for the class, okay? You've got the microphone, Belen, so you can go first. Hola amigos, ¿qué estamos cubriendo hoy? This is a present continuous sentence. The dialogues are also to demonstrate to you that all these tenses we are learning are valid for real life conversation.
Hi friends.
Yeah, hi friends. It's true that I think in the translation I wrote folks, which is another translation. It's like, yeah, hi folks or hi friends. It doesn't matter.
What are we doing today?
Yeah, it's an apaño. It's valid. Okay. What are we doing today? ¿Qué estamos haciendo hoy? Is almost there. Okay. Cubriendo. Could you guess, Estefania?
No, I have this question for you.
Cubrir is to cover. It's the same as tapar, to cover. C-O-V-E-R. I'm going to write it on the board now, okay? Cover. So, following the rule of ing for the continuous tense, it would be covering. What are we covering today? Okay, next. You should speak into the microphone, okay, and then pass it along. I do think the microphone picks up the sound, but still, just in case. Okay, so estamos aprendiendo algo de gramática inglesa.
We are learning some English
Grammar.
grammar.
We are learning some English grammar. Okay, another one. Es importante seguir escuchando con atención.
It's important to continue hearing.
No.
with attention.
Hearing, no.
Vale, me he hecho el lío yo sola.
Don't worry.
A ver.
Don't punish yourself. Okay, so to cover was the first word that I wanted to write, and the continuous tense or the present participle is covering, the ing form, yeah? Okay, so it is important.
It's important to continue.
Yeah, you can use that, but I want you to use a different verb, okay, which is to keep, which is much more useful,
Okay.
much more typical, much more real, okay? Keep, it is important to keep.
Hearing, listening,
Good,
listening with attention.
good. Yeah. It is important to keep listening with attention, okay? Keep is going to be a really important word for you guys.
Okay.
Keep going. Sigue. Keep going. Keep talking. Sigue hablando. Keep doing what you're doing. Sigue haciendo lo que estás haciendo. Keep is a word that has lots of meanings. It can be guardar. It can be mantener. It can be seguir. But it's one of those things, like if I say keep quiet, es guarda el silencio, or mantén el silencio, or sigue en silencio, okay? They're all related, all of these definitions, so that's why you're going to see this popping up a lot. Okay. ¿Qué estabas haciendo ayer a esta hora?
What?
¿Estabas? That's from freaky number 1, okay.
Have?
Freaky number 1 is to be, okay? And in the present tense, it's, first of all, the person is you, no? So it's you are in the present tense, but in the past tense, it's you were, okay? So, and because it's a question, it's not you were, it's were you, yeah? What were you haciendo? De hacer. Hacer is to do, and so haciendo, doing, yeah. What were you doing ayer a esta hora? This one I understand you not knowing, okay? It's kind of a construct.
But if you said, what have you been doing yesterday?
If you say that, you are changing the tense. And yeah, it's an apaño, but it's not correct, yeah? Because I didn't say, ¿qué has estado haciendo ayer a esta hora? And it's not legally correct grammatically, not in Spanish or in English, because remember what I said last week. Ayer a esa hora o a esta hora es un tiempo cerrado. No puedes usar ese tiempo perfecto.
Okay.
Sería ¿qué hiciste? ¿No? O ¿qué estabas haciendo?
Vale.
But you can't say ¿qué has estado haciendo en ese momento? No. ¿Qué has estado haciendo desde aquel momento? Sí.
Vale, vale.
¿No? Pero en un momento cerrado no puedes decir ¿qué has estado haciendo? ¿Qué has estado haciendo ayer? Suena mal, ¿no?
Sí.
Okay, so yeah, you're changing the tense and you're changing it in a way that is not grammatically correct. Okay? It's true that we are going to see in some of these examples that in Spanish you don't really use the continuous tense. You might just say, ¿qué hiciste ayer? Instead of the continuous tense. But I'm showing you that in English we do. We use it, we like, lo aprovechamos, we make use of it, okay? And it is valid if you think about it. If you analyze it grammatically, it's valid. Because the continuous tense is for something continuous. If I just say, ¿qué hiciste ayer? I'm not describing, and you're not describing, any continuous action. Yeah? You could say, comí una patata. Fine. But if it's something that lasted a long time, you know, you would say, I was working for many hours, or I was eating a potato for half an hour. You know, like the continuous is so, it has a meaning that is so necessary to differentiate between the simple past act or the simple present act and the continuous act. I can say, I speak English, and that's general, no? It's all the time. Hablo inglés. I speak English. But if I say, I am speaking English now, es un acto continuo ahora, no es algo general. And so that difference is necessary, okay? So, ayer a esta hora, who knows how to translate that?
At that time yesterday, or yesterday at that time? And this time?
That, this. This, that. Este, ese. Esta, esa. Aquel, aquella, no tenemos. Okay, in English we have two. Here and there. This and that. Okay?
But that.
So, yeah. And so which one was it? It should be this because it's this. Esta. Esa would be that.
Vale.
Okay? Because I'm talking about this time.
Yes.
Yesterday. Yeah? Ayer a esta hora would be this time yesterday. And that is a construct. This time yesterday. And in that order. Yesterday at this time. It's not the same.
Okay.
What were you doing this time yesterday? Okay? Belén estaba leyendo un libro mientras estaba acostado en mi sofá.
I was reading a book while I was thinking.
Acostar, acostando. It's the same as tumbado.
Lay down.
Lying. You can say to lie. So you can say I was lying on my sofa. You can say down, but you don't need it. Because to lie down is like completely. No? So yeah, you can say I was lying down. I was lying or I was lying down on my sofa. You don't need lying down on the sofa because lying down is, I don't know why this is tracking me. Stop tracking me. Wait. It's because I've set it to tracking, but it wasn't set to tracking before. I don't know why. Okay. I just don't want you to lose parts of the board, especially. Okay. So yeah, I normally reserve lying down for like if I'm in the bed. You know, if I really need to like tumbarme completamente. Yeah? So on your sofa, you can be like echada. Yeah, maybe this is more like echada, to lie. Yeah, I was lying on my sofa. Okay, so I was reading a book while I was lying on my sofa. ¿Qué estarás haciendo mañana a esta hora?
What will you be doing at this time tomorrow?
Good. Because this is a construct, you can swap this for tomorrow. You can swap it for any time. This time next year. This time last month. Okay? Don't give up. No te rindes. Don't give up because it's necessary, okay? Estaré revisando el contenido del curso de inglés. Okay, estaré yo, María. Yo, ¿cómo se dice yo? I. Estaré. Mira, esta tilde de estaré, quiero que lo asocies con una palabra. Ya, futuro. ¿Y qué es la palabra que hemos visto? Will. Estar es friki 1. Es el verbo to be, ¿ok? Y he dicho que este es el stem, que siempre va con will, ¿no? I will be. Eso es yo estaré, ¿ok? Revisando. That's super easy because it's a friend word. Yeah, hay palabras amigas. Yeah? Revising. Revise. To revise. To revise. Revisar is to revise. You could also use review if you want, but I want you to use revise because actually revise is like repasar. Okay, so
And review?
Review sometimes has the association of criticar. Cuando lees o revises con algo de crítica. Not always, but often, okay? Reviewing. You could use review here, but revise is totally valid, okay? It's probably the best. So I will be revising. Yeah? Revisando. Este ando es your ing, okay? El contenido, el, este artículo el, o la mujer, la mesa, el lápiz, el libro, el la o el is the, okay? Yeah, lo sabes. Estás ahí como que no sé nada, pero no es verdad, okay? Because when I spoke to you on the first day, your English was decent, and now you're just afraid, okay? Okay, so, where are we? Sorry. Content. El contenido, content. The content del curso de inglés, of the English course. Yeah? Say it. You. Read it.
I will be
Revising
the content
the content
of the English
course. Okay. Intenta anunciar un poco más en general. Okay? No tengas miedo. Okay? Saca la voz. Next. Belén. Bien hecho. Te habrías perdido todo esto si no te hubieras inscrito en este curso. This is one of your conditionals.
Good job.
Huh?
Good job.
Yeah, good job. Well done. I use well done a lot. It's very American, like good job. Good job. But it's valid. I just never say it. I always say well done. Okay, well done. Te habrías perdido.
You will be.
Habrías. You.
will.
Yeah, exactly. Would va con haber. Rías de haber. Habrías. So you would have. Would, exactly. Would is pronounced without an L. The L is silent. Would. So you would have Perdido.
Luz.
Perdido en el participio
Lost.
irregular is lost. Yeah?
Es lost.
Exactly. We have to learn this irregular past participle. Yeah? You would have lost todo esto,
All this.
all this,
If you.
si no te hubieras inscrito.
If you wouldn't.
This is exactly the same as the one we saw before. If you, blah, 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 if you had not.
Si hay would al principio, no hay después.
Exactly. This would is going to give you the past tense in the second clause.
Eso tenía trampa.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can just learn it as a pattern. Yeah, exactly. I did. I showed you before, okay? So it's a pattern that you can learn, okay? Just learn it. It's not that hard because there's not that many, okay? So you would have lost all this if you had not inscrito. Inscribirse.
Is that phrasal verb?
To sign up. It is a phrasal verb. To sign up. So if you had not, it's regular though, if you had not signed up for, you have to say for, that's another thing. It's a phrasal verb that always goes with this preposition for, to sign up for. If you had not signed up for este curso, this course. Okay, next. La próxima semana estaremos conociendo a Friki 3.
Next week we are.
No, it's not we are.
Estaremos.
Estaremos.
Ah, we will.
Estaremos.
Next week we will be conocido.
Anyone? Conocer? Conocer por primera vez. To meet.
Ah. Pero to meet no es como.
Reunirse con alguien, tener una reunión es have a meeting, pero conocerse a alguien por primera vez es to meet. Si es te conozco, I know you, es to know.
If I said on Friday I meet with my friend.
I met up. That one is a phrasal verb. To meet up with. It comes from here. Obviously, this is the root verb, but meet up with is quedar con alguien. Okay? The meet up makes all the difference.
Okay.
Okay? But like to conocer a alguien por primera vez is to meet. So, next week
Next week we will be
meeting.
Freaky 3.
Yeah, Freaky number 3 or Freaky 3 if you want to use his name. And this conocer a, yeah, that preposition in Spanish, you are correct. We don't translate it in English. That sometimes this a is normally to, translated as to in English, okay? But there are occasions that in Spanish you use it like matar a alguien or algo, but in English we just say matar. Yeah? It would be like maté a una hormiga in Spanish. And in English it's just maté una hormiga. I killed an ant, okay? So there's no a with some of the verbs in English like this. But then the opposite is also true. In Spanish you say escucho, yo escucho música, o yo escucho la música, okay? Pero no se dice yo escucho a música, pero en inglés sí. I listen to music. I listen to you. I am listening to you. Okay?
I think Spanish speakers use in the bad case the preposition to.
You think they use prepositions badly?
Yes.
Badly. Malamente, no?
Yes.
Maybe. Everyone speaks badly. There are English people who speak very badly. Sometimes I speak very badly in English, but I'm an English teacher, so I cannot speak badly. I cannot teach you badly, and it's many years of teaching English, so I have studied good English. But there are people in the street in England that speak bad English. But that's okay, okay? That's okay. Language is ours. We own the language. We can manipulate the language, okay? Where are we? Yeah. Tenemos muchas ganas. Okay, this is for you. If you know it, good. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Does anyone know how to say tenemos muchas ganas? Tener ganas is my favorite phrasal verb because I think it's the most essential phrasal verb. Tener ganas de. Tenemos muchas ganas de conocer a Friki 3, ¿no? Tenemos muchas ganas de la fiesta. Tener ganas de. No idea, right? No idea. No one?
No, I think I saw in one time, but I don't know.
I think I have seen it before. Creo que lo he visto antes. Yeah? That's a perfect time to use your present perfect tense. Because you could see it again.
Yes.
It's not closed. Okay? Tener ganas de, why is my favorite verb, phrasal verb? Because it begins with to be, which is Freaky 1. Okay? This is the root. To be. And it's also almost always used continuous. To be looking forward to. It's like, yeah? But it's useful and it's very used. To be looking forward to. So, María, tenemos muchas ganas.
We have.
We are. El tener aquí se usa el Freaky 1. Para nosotros tener ganas no es algo que poseemos, es como un estado. Estoy en un estado de ánimo, ¿cómo se dice? Tengo ilusión. Tengo ilusión tampoco es posesión en inglés. Tengo ilusión es I am excited. ¿Yeah? No es estoy excitada. Eso es uno de los falsos amigos. Okay? I am excited. Tengo ilusión. Tengo ganas. I am. Estoy con ganas. Es como estoy con ganas. ¿Yeah? I am looking forward to. Y en este caso, pues hay que poner it. And it's actually nosotros. We. We. Nosotros. ¿Yeah? Tenemos muchas ganas. We are looking forward to it. ¿Yeah? Hay que poner un objeto. Tenemos muchas ganas de aquello. Okay? In English you have to. Okay?
Podría ser, we are looking forward to this.
Yeah. It would be better that.
Okay.
Because it's like far away, no? We are looking forward to that, or I'm looking forward to that. This suggests it's already here.
Okay.
Okay. Entonces, ¿cómo te has sentido esta semana?
So, how you feel this week?
¿Cómo te has? Estás ahí escaqueando el a ver, como todo el mundo. ¿Ok? ¿Cómo te has sentido? No es cómo te sentiste.
Que lo tienes que pensar más.
Yeah. But I want you to have the confidence that you can use it and it's valid. Porque si lo escaqueas, pues el inglés peor. Es un inglés apañado, como un poco chapuza.
La sensación es que he reorganizado mi cabeza hace 5 minutos. Yo creo que vosotras, de repente todos los verbos se han colocado.
¿Ya? Eso sería el deber. Come in. Okay, last one. ¿Cómo te has sentido esta semana? Hello, Goji. ¿Cómo te has sentido?
2 añitos.
1 año y 3 meses, 4 meses. Todavía no 2 años, pero es grande y muy espabilado. Yeah. Muy bien desarrollado este niño. Say hi. Hi. Okay. ¿Cómo te has sentido? Has de haber. Y haber es have. ¿Ya? ¿Ya?
So, how have you been feeling this week?
Good. This is one of the occasions where in Spanish you don't say ¿cómo te has estado sintiendo esta semana?
Pero es algo
But
que
that's what I'm looking for. Eso es lo que estoy buscando. ¿Cómo te has estado sintiendo esta semana? Y sé perfectamente que en español no suena bien, pero en inglés sí. How have you been feeling this week? You can go if you want later. Can go, yeah. Thank you. I'll send you the besom. I won't forget. Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye. He says bye. Everything good, yeah? Okay. Yeah. No. But she used to be my student. So yeah, sometimes I forget. Normally I communicate with her in Spanish, but she was my student here for like 3 years maybe. So yeah. Oh, you took my microphone. I need it. Okay, yeah, you can go.
Okay.
Yeah? That one is, but it's a good one, okay? How have you been feeling this week? Es como, ¿cómo llevas sintiendo?
¿Cómo llevas sintiéndote esta semana?
Yeah, ¿cómo llevas sintiéndote esta
Aunque
semana?
sea un periodo establecido de tiempo.
Yeah,
Pero es lo suficientemente grande como para poder prolongarlo, ¿no?
yeah. Claro, porque no estoy preguntando, claro, es eso tan junto a, no estoy preguntando sobre un momento solitario de tus sentimientos, no es como cómo sentiste en aquel momento, es como cómo estabas sintiendo
Pero si tú dices,
y cómo llevas sintiendo
¿cómo te has
te...
sentido la semana pasada?
You can say, how were you feeling last week? ¿Cómo estabas sintiendo la semana pasada? Y si quiero preguntar algo continuo.
¿Cómo te has sentido la semana pasada?
Eso no, para mí no es válido gramáticamente. Porque sería cómo sentiste la semana pasada porque está cerrada o cómo estabas sintiendo la semana pasada.
O sea, en español se dice mucho el cómo te has sentido. Refiriéndote a lo mejor a un lunes o un martes o en un momento de...
Pero si no especificas el tiempo cerrado, está válido. ¿Cómo te has sentido?
Vale, pero si yo en un contexto, imagínate que estamos hablando y tú acabas de ser madre y yo te pregunto, ¿cómo te has sentido cuando has sido...
Ya, en inglés eso no existe. Es how did you feel? ¿Cómo sentiste en aquel momento? O how were you feeling? ¿Cómo estabas sintiendo? Okay. Esas preguntas son muy válidas, ¿okay? Y estos matices hay que aprenderlos poco a poco, ¿okay? El Tamagotchi. Yeah. I always speak in English with him. You want another kissy? Yeah. Yeah, and my other 2 kids as well.
Okay.
Go on then.
Bye.
Qué cosita.